November 2024, and we are here with Luciano, Paul, and I'm sorry,
Chris.
and Chris. Thank you, guys. So, is that your first show in Paris?
It's definitely a first show in Paris, yeah.
Yes.
It's very strange because I did a mix with one of your track a few months ago, and I was saying that I'm playing things that no one's gonna never see, and there you are. So we are very happy to see you. How do you feel?
I feel very excited to be playing Paris. You know, I'm half French as well myself. My mother's from Brittany. The last time I was in Paris was 10 years ago with my mother.
Wow.
And she was about 80 odd, and I took her to the Moulin Rouge. So it's a bit strange. It's
Full circle.
It's full circle, yeah. It's interesting. It's exciting, yeah.
Very exciting for
Yeah,
me. This
yeah.
is my first show in Paris, and seeing the venue for that first time is exciting with that vibrant life but that lovely old Paris charm. Very charming. So it's wonderful to see that for the first time. Very pleased to be here at this venue. Amazing.
Yeah, then I'm just happy to be alive.
So your story is quite special. You formed in '81 on the Channel Island, Jersey.
Jersey, yeah.
Sorry, man.
Ile de la Manche, as they call it.
Yeah, Ile de la Manche. You released some cassettes and a 7-inch record by yourself until '95 before seemingly stopping.
Yeah, it was 1984 or 5 we stopped actually. So the single Grey Skies was the last release effectively, I think, with the B-side Blurred, which has now become collectible. I think we did 1,000 of those ourselves. Did 5 cassettes over the years between 1982 and 1985. Various, 3 or 4 tracks on each cassette. And most of those songs now have been compiled by Minimal Wave on the double album Further Strategies. Some of them were on the first album, Alternative Strategies. And there was just a few others which are like re-recordings of the songs which haven't been released.
So you are living on a somewhat isolated island?
Yes.
In terms of maybe of culture and music. And how come did you choose to start your band and your style of music you are playing?
I think myself, I was down at an alternative club, a bit like the Machine, one night, and I saw David Le Breton. And he had a leather jacket on, which he had this written on, the same as this, Killing Joke, on the back.
Oh.
And so I went up to him and had a chat, and then after a while, getting friendly and talking about music for a long time, we decided to form a band. Of course, initially it was probably more punky with just guitar, bass, and lead guitar. But eventually bought some keyboards, starting with Casio, and then going on, graduating on to the Roland products, which were more affordable at the time.
And
second-hand Juno, Dramatics, and the SH-101. And Dave was very mathematical. He was able to program them all, and there was no sequencer with the drum machine, so it was triggering it off. Hiding the tom-toms, but the tom-toms were actually playing notes on the 101, bass notes.
And the other thing we would like to know is how did you choose your band's name?
Oh right, it was probably a bit simple, but it came from Echo and the Bunnymen album. Turquoise Days was a song I liked on the album. It was playing at the time, and it just sort of jumped out at me. I don't know why. And then later, Chris used to do our lights initially, the light show. And then because I played bass and we put some bit on tape, whatever, Chris eventually was playing bass guitar and writing bass lines for us. So like Scattering Seeds is Chris's bass line, and also on Feed the Flame and a couple of other tracks as well.
It's been brilliant fun and a fun creative project to rebuild the Alternative Strategies album for these live gigs. And so we used as much of the original old equipment, the actual drum machine, the actual Roland synthesizers, and we were very careful to not refine the sound, to keep that texture of the original album. So we hopefully, you will hear that in our sound, that original 80s sound, that Luchie originally was bumping up to the limit of the technology. And that is the sound of the 80s, I think, that original electronic equipment dictated the sound of that era, and we want to keep that lovely
Yeah.
warm analog
sound.
So
And David,
that's what it sounds like.
Yeah, David and myself had re-recorded Grey Skies and Blurred with the view to re-release it. Some today's processing or mastering, but we actually re-recorded it using the original 101, which I still have. The dramatics we couldn't use because it needed to be repaired, and it's been repaired now. But we used the 707 drum machine.
So iconic
we
Roland
And then
equipment.
the Juno 106, which I accidentally acquired because Dave's old Juno 6 had been sold or gone a long time ago. And one day I was helping out for a charity for overseas aid in Uganda, and these people who were getting rid of things doing a charity sale, and there was a Juno 106. It was like just by chance. It was like from someone's attic.
So we used all of the original equipment, all the original Roland sounds that people love from the 80s, all feature in the set, and we're very careful to keep that and not refine it with the modern, Pro Tools or Ableton. We keep that sound.
But not the Casio. The Casio, which was very basic on some of the early songs, which is quite quaint, we didn't use the Casio. I kind of replaced it with the Juno sound.
I think the sound is quite live. We have lots
is
of live
live,
elements, so electric bass, live guitar, and live guitar. So it's kind of a full live band sound rather than just electronic. So it's interesting. We have lots of layers and elements. Yeah.
How does it feel to go back to such a back to your use and the sound of that period?
It's fun because that sound is more popular than ever. I mean, listen to the modern artists like The Weeknd or Daft Punk. They love those 80s synthesizers. It's like a retro revival sound. So we're first time around.
Yeah, especially the French bands. I went to see Air and Saint Malo recently, which was excellent. And the Justice as well, and I haven't seen them, but Daft Punk. French bands.
Do you think that shows a limit of digital tools?
There can be a limit. I mean, there's so many different sounds you can obtain digitally.
They are all
almost
available.
unlimited, but I think there are restrictions that we had sort of forced you down a certain way to make a certain sound.
We've kept the limits.
Yeah.
That sound of the old equipment is there on purpose, so we purposely didn't refine the sound. We've kept the character of that original album sound. It's there, but in maybe a slightly more dynamic way, but what I call texture, the slightly detuned synthesizers, the drifting of the oscillator, that's all in there on purpose. So
Chris relearned the bass because in the Parazone he's playing guitar. So
Yes, I haven't played bass for 38 years. So I had to learn quickly again.
It sounds very good though, Chris.
Yeah, we were invited to play at the Waveteef in Belgium, and then this Paris gig followed on, and there will be some more. Hopefully, there's one in Leipzig we've been invited to. So.
Good. So maybe it's also is going to push you to do something new.
It is, yeah. Well, David Le Breton's already done some new tracks, which he sent me.
Great.
With his own vocals, but I'll see if I can work with him to work on these new tracks. We're also doing a new track tonight as well.
Great.
So it's a track I did write just after Turquoise Days finished. So maybe 3 years afterwards or 4 years, Another Green World, which was about the environment. So we're doing that track in the middle of the set.
Is that from 1990?
Around 89, 90.
A very accurate track for
Yes.
those days.
Those days,
Very relevant.
I did perform a different version of it once, supporting the Stranglers, I think it was, with another band who did the same song, but this is it's a lot better, this version. It's a lot better.
Great.
We played it recently at home. We did a small concert back in Jersey for a small amount of people, say 50 something, in an arts trust place called the Barracks.
It's an
like
art
a
studio.
barracks.
It's very nice.
An art studio. So we had a few people down for that. It sounded good.
And I think there's this new synth wave, which people are really enjoying, that sort of analog era sound. And I like the synthwave also has an aesthetic too, so the hashtag synthwave, the hashtag synthwave aesthetic, I think we sort of fit in that new sound that people are enjoying.
And the resurgence of your band,
Yes.
do we owe it partially to the activity of the American label Minimal Wave Records?
Definitely, yes. Yeah.
Because they reissued a compilation of your singles
Yes, I mean,
on an album in 2009, but it's
It's
already
invaluable.
15
Veronica's
years ago.
work is kind of invaluable, really, to even put a price
I
on it,
think
what
we
she's
should
done.
we should do a big shout to Veronica Vasica
Veronica
of
Vasica.
Minimal
Yeah,
Wave
sure.
Records. Yeah.
And not just for Turquoise Days, for all the other bands she's
Mhm.
found, the linear movement, Oppenheimer analysis, and
Portuguese.
Martin Dupont, she's been a big supporter of these bands, and they've been able to play again to big audiences,
But
get out there again.
when she contacted you,
Yes,
it was a surprise for you?
it was, but I'd been contacted not long before by someone in Sweden, a fan really. He'd phoned a local record shop asking if anyone knew me, and they said, we've got this guy from Sweden phoning, asking about you, and then not long after, Veronica got in touch as well. And then, I already had digitized some of the cassettes and done sort of a self-release really compilation, and I'd also had a friend do a video afterwards. And you've probably seen it. There was a limited DVD with lots of. When we rehearsed actually back in 1984, once just before a concert we did a sound check and recorded about 4 or 5 songs. And it sounded very rough because it's through the old VHS recorder. But that footage has survived, which is good. I had it digitized, and then some people online, some fans, have actually put the studio sound to it, which is good. Synced it as well. I don't know who did that, but some people did, which is very nice.
To stop the European frustration by not being able to find physically easily your production,
Yes.
are you looking for a European label that will?
I haven't
Because it
been.
is this.
It's difficult, yeah.
It's horrible for
It
all
is.
the minimal waves you get it.
Yeah.
Which is, we did also the interview with Martin Dupont.
Yes,
and it was the same problem that he's resolved with his last album, because he's got minimal wave for the American market and a label in France for the European market, which
That's
just make
good,
it
yeah.
a bit easier.
I would, because we took some vinyl to Belgium and sold all of them. And
That's
unfortunately, I had 10 more from Veronica. She could only send me, asked for 20, but with the postage, it would only send 10. So I sold 5 in Jersey, and I withheld another 5 for here. So I have about 3 on me, but that's about it.
Maybe
And
that's
then 2 in the car.
Maybe that's a discussion for
A
European.
discussion, maybe with
label.
with the European label. I don't know who Martin Dupont's used, but that would be good, yeah.
Get in touch.
Because I know the postage, otherwise, it costs as much as the
I
record.
can
Yeah.
give you tips for that
Yes, okay.
after
That's
the
good.
interview if you're interested.
Yeah, because otherwise the postage is too much. You go on Bandcamp.
It's horrible.
But I do know that Veronica told me, because I did ask her, where can I get this in England, the other artists. And she said Juno Records in London, or in England rather, also stocks minimal wave records. So that's slightly closer, for postage.
So I'm very impatient to see you live
Yes.
tonight.
Oh, thanks. That's
Very
very kind.
happy
Thank
to
you
see
very
you.
much.
It's crazy because I never thought that this could
No.
happen.
I
so
didn't either, no.
It's very cool to be
It's a
here.
very good surprise.
Yes.
Very
yeah.
cool.
And I hope that you gonna continue and come
I
back
hope so, yeah.
very
Yeah,
soon.
it's,
again.
it's looking very confident, isn't it?
Yes.
Sort of more gigs and more music.
I've been trying to contact the St. Malo one, the one I go to, the Route du Rock as well, but very hard to get hold of them or speak to anyone there, so we're looking at that festival as well, and the festival in Jersey as
Yeah,
well.
I think we have 3 or 4 potential inquiries.
Potential inquiries, yeah.
No plan for United Kingdom, or
Maybe in London, yes.
London?
And we met some people from Bristol, so that's possible.
Yeah,
We met another band who came to Belgium, Stranger Futures. We spoke to them, a young couple.
We have more doors opening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that the time is also perfect.
Yes,
No,
it's
otherwise
the-
there's only a limited window.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the 40th anniversary this year of Alternative
Great
Strategies.
skies, yeah.
So it's a nice way of reason for doing these gigs, and then for next year we can do new music and keep presenting the album, and a very exciting time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very
for
much.
the
Nice to
interview.
speak to you.
Very nice
It was
talking to
a
you.
pleasure.
Thanks for having me.